Warren Buffett, known as the world's most successful investor. At the same time, he is the general director and largest shareholder of Berkshire Hathaway and is ranked in the top 5 richest people in the world by Forbes magazine. As of August 2021. Below, the Life Lessons channel compiles his most famous inspirational quotes about both life and finance. We invite you to listen together. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Opportunities come infrequently. When it rains gold, put out the bucket, not the thimble. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. The most important investment you can make is in yourself. Only when you combine sound intellect with emotional discipline do you get rational behavior. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Without passion, you don't have energy. Without energy, you have nothing. Tell me who your heroes are, and I'll tell you who you'll turn out to be. Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. I insist on a lot of time being spent. Almost every day, to just sit and think. That is very uncommon in American business. I read and think. So, I do more reading and thinking, and make fewer impulse decisions than most people in business. I do it because I like this kind of life. Someone sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. If you're in the luckiest 1% of humanity, you owe it to the rest of humanity to think about the other 99%. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. You can't make a good deal with a bad person. Avoiding the dumb things is the most important. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. You don't have to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong. I'll tell you the secret to being rich: be frugal. If you buy things you don't need, you will soon sell things you need. There comes a time when you ought to start doing what you want. Take a job that you love. You will jump out of bed in the morning. The rich invest in time, the poor invest in money. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. It's better to hang out with people better than you. Pick out associates whose behavior is better than yours, and you'll drift in that direction. When the tide goes out, you see who's been swimming naked. I measure success by how many people love me. Never ask a barber if you need a haircut. Because the answer will always be yes. Forecasts may tell you a great deal about the forecaster, they tell you nothing about the future. a public opinion poll is no substitute for thought. Business schools reward complex behavior more than simple behavior. But simple behavior is more effective. In life, you need to do a few things well, and do them over and over again. If you don't control your emotions will control you. There's no better way to force a sharp thought than to write it down. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day and not reopen it for 5 years. People get greedy, and fear follows. This is visible now. But its ramifications are not all visible. They never are. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and to be greedy only when others are fearful. I want to be able to explain my mistakes. This means I do only the things I completely understand. If you're not willing to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. There are some things that take time, no matter how much talent you have or how hard you work. You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant. The only thing that can cause you to fail is if you stop trying. Marriage for money is a bad idea in every case, but especially if you have money already. I don't try to jump over 7-foot bars, I look around for 1-foot bars that I can step over. Managing yourself is like investing. The degree of difficulty doesn't count. So, you can save yourself money and effort by choosing the right ship to get on. When a company gets into trouble. One thing I do know is that they'll get into more trouble as they go along. They never get into less trouble. When an idea has gone wrong, words are useful. Human nature will remain the same. People will always find ways to complicate simple things. The sloppier people are in their work, the more you need to pay attention to yours. Mixing smarts with borrowed money can get you into interesting situations. There's nothing wrong with not doing something worth doing. Investing should be rational. If you don't understand it, don't do it. If you can't find anything within your circle of competence, don't try to expand the circle. Wait. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. I'm very suspicious of people who only excel in one area, an athlete or an entertainer. For example, who think they can be a leader in all things because they've made a lot of money. I think it's crazy. We learn from history that we don't learn from history. You can't tell who's swimming naked until the tide goes out. The more you invest in yourself, the better off you'll be. You are your biggest asset to date. You have just finished listening to Warren Buffett's famous inspirational quotes that Life Lessons channel has compiled to send to you. What is your favorite quote from Warren Buffett?
Life Lessons channel. Thank you for watching the video.